Step number one is obviously getting your truck backed up and getting your ball latch down. On yours, you have a 2-inch ball latch, so this just clips back and then locks in place.
Okay.
Once it's down and locked, then you're locked.
Okay.
These bars, whenever you get home and you need to remove them, simply rotate the tail past the head of the hitch here, give it a jiggle, and it'll come right on out. Whenever you're installing them, same thing, just right in the bottom. I like to put my thumb on this flat spot right here, give it a good pinch. So it takes a little pump.
Okay.
You hear it lock in, this pin you'll see come out and snap back in place. And then you can jiggle it and it shouldn't be able to come out.
Okay.
There's no right or left on these bars, so you don't need to keep track of which one goes where.
Okay.
They'll both just slip in right from the bottom. So now you'll notice I still have the tongue jack down. What we're gonna do first before loading any weight on the truck is actually the opposite. We wanna lift the tongue jack, or lift the nose of the trailer now.
So it's actually lifting the truck
Exactly.
a little bit.
Right, so you'll have it locked down, so it's gonna lift the rear, it's gonna take all the slop out of the hitch, and then we wanna get a little bit of suspension off of your truck. A couple inches is usually all you need. You'll know whenever you're putting the hitch on if it's too tight. You've got to fight to get the bars flipped over here. And then you can always just lower your tongue jack another inch and it'll make it easier. Okay. So to get the chains on, you'll use this cheater pipe here. It slips in that top. Bring this down to level. You'll be putting the chain right there on that flat one.
Yes.
So grab your last chain link in line.
Yes.
Pull it nice and straight. That'll let you know if you've got any twist in your chain.
Yes.
So once you know that it's nice and straight, just hook on whichever one goes nice and easy on. See how that's nice and easy right there? See, this is nice and easy. We're not muscling anything.
Okay. Cotter pin it.
Cotter pin in the top. That part's gonna be the hardest part until it gets broken in.
Okay.
And now we wanna match this on that side. So I'll count however many floating links I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll match that over there.
Okay.
Same thing with the bar, slides in from the bottom to get clipped in place. Last chain link, pull it out, make sure it's nice and straight, and then count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. We're hooking on number 6 here. Boom, nice and easy, no effort. And again, another pin. Just like so. Okay. Once you got both pins installed, now these bars are secured, so let's go ahead and lower the weight. Now when you get home, a lot of people ask me how do I know how low or how high to bring the tongue?
Right.
This is what's gonna tell you right here. You see how there's no tension on that? So whenever you get home and you go to take these off, just keep lowering that tongue jack or raising the tongue of the trailer until these get loose. And then you'll know that you're safe to pull your cotter pins and lower the hinge down.
Okay.
You'll see why I say that. As we start lowering this, it's gonna start doing the weight transfer across the bars. They're gonna get more and more loaded. And now the whole weight of the trailer is on the hitch in the truck. You'll notice that flex in the bars now.
Yes.
Notice that they are no longer loose. The whole truck and trailer is gonna move with it. So, if it's this tight, obviously you don't want to be trying to pull it off right now because it could just throw that bar. So just remember to use your tongue jack to take all the tension off there. Get this. Your sway control is secondary. It's a separate piece, so you can put this on and off at will. Most of the time you'll have it on, especially if you're going to have some wind. Right there on the front ball, right here on the back ball.
All right, so this is upside down here, so I need to keep that in mind, okay?
Yes, we flipped you around because I didn't want to cut your chain hanger off over here.
All right.
You see? So I flipped this around, took it from this side of the hitch and mounted it on this side. Operates the same. So this will be tighter or looser for more or less sway control. This bolt you can leave set, and this one you can use as your adjustment here. My rule of thumb is I will always make it taut but not tight. This has friction pad on both sides and a bare metal steel rod, so it acts like a brake disc and brake pads.
Okay.
And it needs to be able to move some, of course, because it's just slowing down this way. You don't want to totally stop this way.
Right.
You have to be able to turn. So it's better to have this a little loose than rather have it too tight. If it's too tight, you could bend a ball here or here. If it's too loose, you can always pull over and make it a little tighter. So my rule of thumb is I use just like an extended finger here. So you can feel the tension on there, but I'm not grabbing it with my hands and bearing down to crank it down. Right. So your sway control is set there. The only other thing you want to keep in mind with your sway control, whenever you're backing into corners or backing into that tight spot or trying to get the camper backed into your house, the safe rule of thumb is to just take this off anytime you're in reverse.
Okay.
If you're gonna have to back into some sharp angles, go ahead and come out here, pop these 2 pins and pull the sway bracket off. These bars are totally fine to stay.
Okay.
But this can run out of travel, so you'd want to pull it off.
Okay.
All right. So 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure your lock's down, your tongue jack is up. Now your safety chains. These will go on with a cross, so grab the one mounted on this end, and you'll hook it to this end of your truck. Same thing on the opposite end. But on this side, I'm also going to put, yeah, that's good. I'm going to run this through a chain link, not tied off. That way it can still freely move. Place it on the hook so that it can pull on that nice firm back spot. And then hook it to the frame of your truck. You don't want to hook to the frame of the trailer or the hitch or anything like that. Hook to the frame of your truck. Okay. And do keep in mind where this cable is. You want to make sure that that pin's in, otherwise the brakes on your trailer will be locked. I'm going to put that bar right up front for you.
Okay.
So you mean if you're backing up, you have to remove this?
Be a good idea, unless it's a pretty straight.
Exactly.
Back up.
Yes, sir. You get it. And 7-way cord here gets plugged in on the bottom there. Let's see, maybe we'll go like this. Just like so. Make sure you give it a good jiggle every time going in and out. Let's push that out. Yeah. Just any road grime or anything that might get caught on those pins, you can shake it off. And then I always like to have the cord. 1 wrap is going to work really good for you.
Okay.
As long as you keep it close to your pivot point, it won't get tight.
Gotcha.
And now you're set up to tow.
All right.
While I have you, I'd like to check your lights still. If you want to jump back in the driver's